welcome to yet another live with THiNC Institute of Design. So we're going to discuss in this particular live on how exactly to register for Uceed 2025. So I guess most of you have already come across the registration portal and the dates of Uceed 2025. Just in case if you haven't, let me tell you that Uceed registrations have already begun on the 1st of October. It will be ending by the 31st of October, and the extended date with late fee is the 8th of November. So you will have to register as soon as possible. If you are somebody who is interested to do your Bachelor's of Design B.Des program from IITs, then you need to register for this. There are only 2 attempts that you will get for this. Okay. The exam is scheduled for January 19th of the next year. So I think, yes, that's it. These are the main details that you should be knowing about. In this particular video, I'll be taking you through the steps of registrations one by one. What are the steps in which you have to register? If you have any questions, you can obviously ask in this particular live, or if you still have questions, you can also post it in this particular video's comment box after the live is over. Or there is also a THiNC Institute's helpline number, which we will be sharing in those live. You can contact us in those number also. Okay. So moving on, this is the website uc.iitb.ac.in/2025. So IIT Bombay, IIT Powai is the institute that conducts this exam. As you might already be aware, there are 6 different institutes that are participating in this, including IIT Bombay. The recent or the latest edition has been IIT Roorkee, which came up this year. And this year, along with the notifications, there aren't any new institutes that has come up. Maybe there might be new IITs that will be coming up. You never know. Okay. So talking about UC 2025, this is the website. You get important dates, information, brochure, registration portal. And if you go to the examination tab, you get a brief summary of what are the important dates, exam cities, syllabus, and things like that. You also get the previous year question papers. You also get question paper structure. It's a very extensive website of all the 3 major design exams in India. That is NID's DAT, NIFT, and UCEED. UCEED is actually one of the most defined, or you get a lot of resources in terms of UCEED. Okay, so you can go through the website, you can in detail figure out what are the things that they are given. Previous year questions are of utmost importance when you are talking about the preparations for UCEED. So please do start with that. Okay. Now moving on to the registrations, I'll start with the important dates just to give you a zoomed out, summarized version of what that is. The application starts from 1st of October, last date is 31st of October. There is an extended late fee permission that they have given till the 8th of November, but that's with late fee. So let's not get into that. It's already 26th today. So just a 5 or 6 more days. Exam is on the 19th of January. That's the next year. And the results are expected by 7th March 2025. So usually participating institutes is reduced. No, participating institutes is not reduced. You have 6 participating institutes. Also, there is a difference between participating institute and result sharing institute. I'm not sure how many of you know that. Participating institutes are the ones wherein you can get into with the help of UCEED's post-examination counseling. So there is a B.Des admissions counseling exclusively for these 6 participating institutes. Which are these 6 participating institutes? There are 5 IITs and there is 1 IIIT. IITs include IIT Bombay, Delhi, Guwahati, Roorkee, Hyderabad, and IIIT Jabalpur. These are the 6 institutes, 6 participating institutes that you have. Other than that, there are obviously a lot of result sharing institutes. A lot of institutes are taking in UCEED's score. So even getting a valid score and getting qualified in UCEED in itself is a big game, to be frank. Okay, so that's also a great thing. You can keep all of that in mind. It's a very good, solid, standard exam to write. It's a very, standard exam to get qualified. You can feel privileged that you've got qualified once you clear that. Now, talking about the information brochure, I have summarized very basic things in my previous video. You can search for that, or I'll also be summarizing some of the important things, like, for example, the eligibility criteria and stuff like that in the coming slides. I hope Pixelated's question has been answered. Okay, coming to the eligibility criteria. There are 3 eligibility criteria in terms of UCEED. See, UCEED is an exam wherein there is a limitation in the number of attempts. That in itself makes it stand out compared to the other design exams. So firstly, it is the age limit. You should be born on or after the age of born or after the year of 2000, not age, born on or after the year of 1st October 2000. There is a relaxation for students who are differently abled or SC/ST and all. That's the first criteria. The second criteria, as I said, is in terms of number of attempts. One of the most important factors in UCEED is number of attempts. Now, what is number of attempts? You can only write it 2 times in your life. 2 times means the first time is when you are writing your 12th standard for the first time. That means if you're writing your 12th standard in 2025 March, your first attempt can be in 2025 January. UCEED first attempt can be in 2025 January. And your second attempt in UCEED can be the very next year. That is 2026 January. That's it. You're not permitted to write any time before that. You're not permitted to write any time after that. So if you're somebody who has passed your 12th standard in 2023, or 2022 or 21 and all, no, you won't be able to write UCEED examinations. So that is in terms of number of attempts, which is the second criteria. The third criteria is the qualifying examination. You should have passed your +2, that is, or 12th standard or equivalent in 2024 or appearing in 2025. So these are the criteria. Please note, one of the other interesting facts about UCEED is that students from all the streams, across all the streams, can actually write this, be it science, commerce, humanities, any stream you belong to. B.Des in general, Bachelor of Design course, 4-year course in general, is a very inclusive course. It includes students from, it tries to include as many students as possible from diverse backgrounds to include the diversity of thoughts and all. So it's a very good field to write if you're somebody who's creative or passionate about, let's say, photography or videography or video editing or doodling, sketching, graphic design, poster design, logo design, fashion design, animation, game design, a lot of things. If you're passionate about any of these things, definitely give the shot. Moving on. So we have a help desk. We have set up a help desk at THiNC Institute of Design. If you have any questions, you can call us. You can ask us in English or Malayalam, whichever language that you're comfortable in, you can ask us. These are the two numbers: 8086 111 or 8086 111 We have our new design crash batches, online design crash batches starting from tomorrow. We already had a couple of batches which we had started. So that was in October, in the first weeks of October. We have started that, and we have the new batch that is starting from tomorrow. So we have 35 live sessions in that. You will get live classes. In addition to that, you will get the recordings of these classes and also additional recorded sessions. You will get subject-wise tests. You will get mock exams. You will get personalized one-to-one mentors. You'll get a lot of things. It's purely online. You can attend these classes at your comfort, at your pace, at your space. Okay. And if you have any questions related to that, you can contact us at the number that we provided below, 8086 111 216. Now, coming back to, again, the information brochure of UCEED 2025. Here is the seat matrix. These are the 6 participating institutes in terms of seat matrix with respect to different categories, seats that are there. So to be considered for all these categories, you need to provide a proof other than in case of open category. If you are EWS or OBC, MCL, SC, ST and all, even if you're differently abled seats in all of these categories has been clubbed together. So if you belong to any of these categories, you will have to upload the certificates and stuffs like that. Let me also refer to my short note wherein I had mentioned some additional points. Okay, so I think you are already familiar. I've given you an idea about the website. I've given you the eligibility criteria. I've given you the important dates and also the seat matrix. Now, coming to the registration, you have to go to the registration portal. You have to go to the registration portal in UCEED's website and click on register. You click on register, you will be asked to give your email ID. So whichever email ID you are using, preferably something which you're regularly using. Okay, do not use the temporary email IDs that you use probably for gaming and stuff like that. Don't use that. An email ID which you will be using for the next, this is required for the rest of the 8 or 10 months that are going to come up, provided you're also getting into, hopefully you're getting into IITs. So give that email ID, you get a mail. You get a mail and you click on that and you will be taken to an external portal. In that external portal, you will have to start filling your details. All your personal details has to be entered there, and you have to submit the form. So your full name, your date of birth, gender, mobile number, address, city, pin code, all these things has to be mentioned. Okay. Please note your name, your your date of birth and stuffs like that. You cannot make a mistake or changes with respect to that. So please ensure that it is as per the latest degree or any certificates that you have received. It should be based on that. Okay. If you're somebody who belongs to the non-Indian category, you can also mention it there. The most important thing in this is the question, the security question that's being asked. What is the security question and what's the secret answer that you're giving? It's very important. Write it down somewhere so that you do not forget, because that's what will be asked in case you forget the password. Talking about the password is the next thing that they'll be asking. So mention the password twice and do not forget that. Also write that down somewhere. Once you click on the register, you will get a pop-up saying, have you entered the details as per the latest degree or certificate and stuff like that? Have you noted down the DOB and all and the secret answer? So they are also sending you another reminder asking that whether you have noted down stuffs like that. Do not forget. And once you do that, your registration gets completed. That is the first step of the email registration is complete. Once you're done with that, you can go to the home page and start logging in. So your registration is over now. Now you log in, you enter your details, give your payment, your registration, your application gets completed. So your registration is complete. The next is your application. You click on login, you give your credentials, that is your email ID and password, and you get to log in. If you're differently abled or if you are somebody who belong to different categories, let's say the ones that I was saying earlier, be it OBC or SC/ST category and all, you can mention that. What difference does that make? It's something that's very, very important because it's based on that you get a cutoff mark. Your cutoff marks are decided based on which category you belong to. So if you mention the wrong category, or if you mention the category and if you're not able to provide the certificate, what happens is you will automatically be considered into the open category. So the cutoff normally increases. Cutoff increases means there is higher competition there that's happening, and you will have to ensure that you clear the higher cutoff. So ensure that you select the category that you belong to, only the category that you belong to. Also ensure that you have the proper certificate for that. There is a different format and all that's given for each certificate. Ensure that those certificates are uploaded. Uceed rejects left, right, center. If your certificates are wrong, there has been instances wherein Uceed has rejected that. Okay. So just sharing the qualifying mark variation with respect to 2024, you can see. So OBC category, the cutoff marks for part A was 55. For OBC, it was 49. It was reduced. That's what I'm saying. So if you put your category as OBC NCL, imagine you got 50 marks. If you had the OBC certificates, you would have cleared. If you haven't had, you will be considered open and you will not be able to clear that. Lots of students have had to face that in the last few years. So ensure that you have the certificates and stuffs like that. Now, moving on to the eligibility criteria, you can mention which year. It's just a check that they have arranged this year so that you can check and ensure that you are actually eligible for writing the UC 2025. It's actually a good thing because otherwise we'll have to prepare till January and then realize that you're not eligible. So something which is a good step that they have taken. You have to mention stuff like that, get your mobile verified. So it has to be a number, it has to be a SIM which can receive SMS, and also you get a one-time password and you give those things, get it verified. And once that's done, you can give your contact details. Okay, your first name, middle name, last name, stuff like that. Now, if there has been a change in terms of your name that's ever done, you can do that. There is also FAQ section. There's also an FAQ section in the login portion which you can refer to. They've given some very interesting questions and answers for that. Or if you also want, you can also contact the Uceed help desk. So there were a few students who had reached out to us asking for how to draft a mail so that we could, raise a complaint or query to the Uceed help desk. So if you want any such questions, help and all, you can contact us at these numbers. Also at THiNC Institute of Design, we provide coaching for architecture and design entrance exams like NID, NIFT, Uceed, NATA, JEE Paper 2 and stuff like that. So if you want to take up any of our courses, we have our new online crash batches that are coming up. So you can contact us. You can attend these classes from anywhere. We have 35 days online classes that are coming up. Now, coming back to the certificates and coming back to the registration portion. So you'll have to mention which category you belong to, your parents' name, details like that. If you're differently abled, you will have to mention that, persons of Indian origin or OCI or Indian nationals and all, you'll have to mention. Again, EWS declaration, you will have to do it at your own risk, provided you get the certificates and details for that. I think there are two criteria to ensure that you're somebody who belong to the EWS category. One is land area, other is the group, other is the gross annual income, not group, gross annual income. So ensure that all those are within the limits that are being mentioned. Also ensure that you get a certificate on that note and you are able to upload and stuffs like that. As I said, when you go to the details of education qualification, you can give any of the 4 different options: science, commerce, arts, humanities, others. All these things are welcome. Okay, so ensure that you give that correctly, and you also have the option of giving 3 cities. In fact, I think Kerala is the only state in India in Uceed wherein there are 4 different centers that are given. There is Trivandrum, there is Ernakulam, there is Kottakkal, there is also Thrissur this time that has come. So there are 4 different centers. Lots of students are writing Uceed entrance exams in Kerala, it seems like. So you can fill all of that, but please note, you'll only be able to fill 3 exam cities of your choice. That choice that you're filling, the choice has to be decided now. You will not be able to change it. So once you set that, that's it. There are no changes that is possible. Now, I talked earlier about the participating institutes. Okay, participating institutes are the 6 institutes which are actually part of Uceed, and post-examination, you can attend the B.Des admissions counseling process of IITs, and you can take admission into any of those 1 institution out of 6. Other than that, there are also result sharing institutes. What are result sharing institutes? These are universities which are actually taking scores from Uceed. So you get so they get the scores of Uceed. What do? You can apply to those universities. So you can separately apply to those universities. They will cross check your score that you are submitting with Uceed, because Uceed has shared your results with them. That's why they are called as result sharing institutes. They are not participating in the B.Des admission counseling process conducted by IITs. They are individually, or they're taking in students in isolation, standing as a separate entity, standing as a separate unit. Okay, so I've given you only the list of a few institutes, because every year what happens is, every year the colleges has to sign a memorandum of understanding with Uceed, and every time that happens, the colleges comes up. So BITS Pilani has come up, Flame Universities has come up, Rishi Hood University has come up, Nirma University in Ahmedabad has come up. Now, I'm showing you a list below that of 2024 result sharing institutes. So those are also institutes which will hopefully be coming up this year also. So as days progress, under the tab of result sharing institutes for 2025, every day or every week or every month, if you go and check, there will be more universities that will be coming up in 2025. So keep visiting that. You get an idea of which are the universities that you can privately apply also. You can also start applying to those institutes. Some of the institutes have already started the admission procedures, is what I've understood. So you can definitely try that also. Okay. Now, the other things that are to be done is, once you fill the registration form, you can go through that and you can see whether you've given it correctly. These are the list of 27 examination cities. Okay. And examination centers or examination cities, you won't be able to change it. They have clearly mentioned a request for change of examination center will not be entertained after the registration is complete. It's a one-way ticket, guys. Once you are in, there is no way out. So that's the preference that you're going to give. Okay. Now, once that is done, you can see the document uploading part. So your photograph, your signature, your date of birth proof, qualifying examination certificate, and category certificate if it is applicable. The 5th one is category certificate if it is applicable. So that you can upload only if it's required. All the other things you have to apply. Now, in case of qualifying examination certificate, what you have to do is, if you're somebody who is currently studying your 12th standard, you have to get the attestation. You have to get a certificate from your school or college principal in Appendix 1 format. So what is Appendix 1? This is Appendix 1. There's no secrecy in what this is. You can take it obviously from the Uceed's information brochure. We have just taken a screenshot of that and kept it here. Okay, so get this from the Uceed information brochure, get the soft copy of that, take a printout of it, put your photograph, take it to your principal, get it filled and signed and sealed from the school principal. It ensures that you are somebody who is currently in your 12th standard. Okay, these are the other documents that you have to upload: the date of birth, the qualifying examination and stuff like that. Upload all of that. you can see your registration form. You can see all the details that you have put up here. You can just go through them once again after that, and then you can upload your signature and stuff like that. And you have to give your declarations. Please note that in this, there are two things, like the scanned documents are correct. That's a declaration that you're giving. The other declaration that you're giving, you have to read that very carefully. By submitting this application, I authorize IIT Bombay, which is conducting the UCEED, IIT Bombay to share your personal information with other institutes with whom results will be shared if qualified. So if you are getting qualified, your results will be shared with other institutes. Mostly that will be the institutes which are result sharing institutes, which I told earlier. I had shown you a list of institutes like BITS Pilani, BITS Design School, Flame University, Rishi Hood University, Nirma University. There will be a lot more that will be coming. So they'll be sharing the results. IIT Bombay will be sharing the results with all these institutes, and they are taking the permission for the same. Okay. Now, before we move on to the next stage, I would like to give you a very small reminder about our flagship annual sketching competition that's conducted by THiNC for the month of October. So at THiNC Institute, we conduct a open to all public Instagram-based sketching competition. The name of that is THiNCtober. THiNCtober is something which we have been conducting for the last 7 years. So this is the 7th year of THiNCtober. There are 30 proms and 31 days across this. So in the month of October, you get a chance to exhibit your, flaunt your sketching skills. That's what I would say. Now, every day there will be a prompt that will be coming up at 00.01 hours. That is midnight 12:01. Where will you be able to see that prompt? You will be able to see that prompt in Instagram. So what do you do next? Based on that prompt, you have to come up with some idea, conceptualize it, and work out a sketching and submit it before 23:59 hours the same day. That is 11:59 p.m. Okay, so how do you submit that? You can submit it as Instagram post, make it a story, and tag THiNC Institute so that we do get to know that you have submitted or you have participated. It's purely open competition, open to all. It's open for everyone, anyone of all age, except for the current THiNC staff. Obviously, anyone else is able to. Anyone else is eligible to actually participate. And it's an open competition. It's a sketching competition. Anyone and everyone can participate. Some days there may be a medium. Some days medium might not be there. Some days the words might be, prompt words might be easier. Some days the prompt words might be difficult. So it's up to you to conceptualize, come up with sketching, and take part in it. Okay. Moving on. So you have successfully completed your registration. Now is the time for you to do the payment. So 2,000 is what I have to pay according to my teammates category that she had selected. So these are the different registration fee for UCEED entrance exam 2025. So for all the candidates, it's 2,000, except for, so for all female candidates and SC, ST, PWD candidates, and all, it is 2,000. And for all the other candidates, it's actually 4,000. So open category students and all, everyone, it is 4,000. Okay, so you can proceed with the payment of the same using different payment gateways, whichever you are comfortable. You can also see the application form, take a soft copy, take a PDF of that and keep it with you. Okay, so these are the things that we had to mainly talk about. If you have any questions, queries and all, you can contact the UCEED help desk numbers, or you can also mail them. They are quite, they are quite prompt in responding and all. I think I've covered most of the points. Along with that, I would say, yeah, the secret answer, the date of birth, the password that you're setting, all these things you should remember. Then in case of EWS, if you belong to the EWS category, you should have the certificate. Please don't forget that. And your private information will be shared. That is, whatever information you are giving here will be shared with the result sharing institutes. And if you're somebody who is in 12th standard, you need to get the certificates NX1 number 1. That's the certificate that I'm talking about. NX number 1 from your principal in your school. You need to get it attested from him or her. And examination cities, when you're giving the examination cities, please be sure of where you will be on the 19th of January, because you will have to reach the examination center. So which are the examination cities, you will be only able to give that once. You give that priority, you give that choice. There is no way you're going to change that. Okay. So these are the things that I had to talk about. I hope you guys had a wonderful time. I have my team who has already shared the Thinktober post, Instagram post. There's just 4 or 5 more days that this competition is going to happen. There is also a total prize money of, I forgot the prize money. That was the catchy part of it. 1.75 lakhs total prize money is there. So there's a lot of things up for grab. There is also something up for grab for the consistent participants also. So you can move to the Instagram page and check out. If there are any questions, you can DM us at Instagram. Okay. And okay, I have got a question for CEED and NID. For CEED and NID, let me see if we can at THiNC Institute, we provide the coaching for that also. We will be providing another session for the same. Okay, thank you, Ricky, Kiran. Above that, I don't have any questions. I have a lot of my fans showing hi-fi. And also, yes, hi-fi to every one of you. So if you want to join our Uceed or NID or NIFT entrance coaching for 2025, we have short-term crash batches that are starting from tomorrow. Okay, so you can contact us at these numbers 8086111044 or 8086111055, and you can get into that. Or if you have any questions about how to fill the registration form, how to draft a mail to ask query to UC and stuff like that, you can contact THiNC Institute. Basically, you can contact THiNC Institute for anything and everything related to design and architecture. I guess that's it. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining in. If you have any further questions or if you're watching the recorded portion after the live, please know that if you have any questions, you can contact us at these numbers, or also you can post questions as comments in this particular video. Until we see in the next session, thank you, everyone. Thank you, host.